Savior the whole world, Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nitai Gaur Premanand. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Yasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhaute Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 28, text number 13 and 14. Prasanna Vadana Ambojam Prasanna Vadana Ambojam Padma Garbha Aruna Ikshanam Padma Garbha Arunekshanam Nilotpala Dhala Shyamam Nilotpala Dhala Shyamam Shankachakra Gadadharam Shankachakra Gadadharam Prasanna Vadanambojam Padma Garbharunekshanam Nilotpala Dhala Shyamam Shankachakra Gadadharam Prasanna Vadanambojam Padma Garbharunekshanam Nilotpala Dhala Shyamam Shankachakra Gadadharam. Prasanna, cheerful. Vadana, countenance. Ambujam, lotus-like. Padma Garbha, the interior of a lotus. Aruna, ruddy. Ikshanam, with eyes. Neela Utpala, blue lotus. Dhala, petals. Shyamam, Swarti. Shanka, conch. Chakra, discus. Gada, club. Dharam, bearing. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has a cheerful lotus-like countenance with ruddy eyes like the interior of a lotus and a swarthy body like the petals of a blue lotus. He bears a conch, discus, mace in 3 of his hands. Please repeat the translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has a cheerful lotus-like countenance with ruddy eyes like the interiors of a lotus and a swarthy body like the petals of a blue lotus. He bears a conch, discus and mace and 3 of his hands. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is definitely recommended herein that one concentrate his mind upon the form of Vishnu. There are 12 different forms of Vishnu which are described in teachings of Lord Chaitanya. One cannot concentrate his mind on anything void or impersonal. The mind should be fixed on the personal form of the Lord, whose attitude is cheerful and as described in this verse. Bhagavad Gita states that meditation on the impersonal or void features is very troublesome to the meditator. Those who are attached to the impersonal or void features of meditation have to undergo a difficult process because we are not accustomed to concentrating our minds upon anything impersonal. Actually, such concentration is not even possible. Bhagavad Gita also confirms that one should concentrate his mind on the personality of Godhead. The color of the personality of Godhead, Krishna, is described here as Neelotpala Dhala, meaning that it is like that of a lotus flower with petals tainted blue and white. People always ask why Krishna is blue. The color of the Lord has not been imagined by an artist. It is described in authoritative scriptures. In the Brahma Samhita also, the color of body, Krishna's body, is compared to that of a bluish cloud. The color of the Lord is not poetical imagination. There are authoritative descriptions in the Brahma Samhita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and many of the Puranas of the Lord's body, his weapons, and all other paraphernalia. The Lord's appearance is described here as Padma Garbharunekshanam. His eyes resemble the inside of a lotus flower, and in his 4 hands he holds 4 symbols: conch shell, discus, mace, and lotus. Next verse I'll recite myself. Lasat Pankaja Kinjalka Pita Kausheya Vasasam Srivatsa Vakshasam Bhrajat Kaustuba Amukta Kandaram. His lines are covered by a shining cloth, yellowish like the filaments of a lotus. On his breast he bears the mark of a Srivatsa, a curl of white hair. The brilliant Kaustuba gem is suspended from his neck. The exact color of the garment of the Supreme Lord is described as a saffron yellow, just like the pollen of a lotus flower. The Kaustuba gem hanging on his chest is also described. His neck is beautifully decorated with jewels and pearls. The Lord is full in 6 opulences, one of which is wealth. He is very richly dressed with valuable jewels, which are not visible within this material world. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The last verse, it was recommended to meditate upon the Supersoul, Paramatma, Samadhi state. So meditate upon the Lord. You should know the features of the Lord, how he looks like. Then you can meditate upon him without any deviation. So the technical details, how the Lord looks like in the Paramatma form, are explained in 4-5 verses from now, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17. So today we'll understand some of the aspects of his bodily features. Prasanna Vadanam Bojam. His face, Prasanna, very cheerful. He is very happy to look at. Ambojam is like a lotus flower. When a flower is fully blossomed, by seeing it we feel very happy. So his face was like a fully blossomed lotus flower. So different names of lotuses are used in this verse and the next verse. The first one to use was Amboja. Amboja is like lotus. Padma Garbha Arunekshanam. Padma Garbha is again interior of a lotus. Padma means again lotus. Garbha means the center part of the lotus. You will see that red one inside the lotus. So that Padma Garbha Aruna Ikshanam. His eyes are reddish in color. Then Neelotpala Dalashyamam. The bodily color of the Lord. Neela Utpala. It is like the bluish lotus flower. A lotus with blue and whitish tint. Blue and white. Neela Utpala. So one more name for lotus is Utpala. Then Shankha Chakra Gadadaram. Lord has 4 arms. The 4 things what he holds, Shankha, Chakra, Gada. Lotus is not mentioned by default because in all the other things lotus is there. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has a cheerful lotus-like countenance. Prasanna Vadanam Bhojam. With ruddy eyes. Aruna Ikshanam. Like the interior of a lotus. Padma Garbha. And a swarthy body. Shyamam. like the petals of a blue lotus, Nilotpala Dalaha. He bears a conch, discus and mace, Shanka Chakra Gadadaram in 3 of his hands. So this is the description of the Paramatma in the heart. Then in the purport, Prabhupada was explaining, so one cannot concentrate on something imaginative or something void. Because to focus upon something, you should have a steady features. The mind should be fixed on the personal form of the Lord, whose attitude is very cheerful, as described here. The color of Krishna is known as Nilotpala Dala, meaning it is like the lotus flower with blue and white tinted. The Lord's appearance is described as Padma Garbaru Nekshanam. His eyes resemble the inside of a lotus flower and his 4 hands holds Shanka Chakra Gada Padma. And in the next one it says, Lasat Pankaja Kinjalka Pita Kausheya Vasasam. The Lord's dress, the dhoti what he wears, Pita Kausheya Vasasam. Vasasam means cloth. The color of what is? Pita Kausheya. It is like Kausheya is a silk cloth. Pita means yellowish in color. Again, this yellowish color is referred to Pankaja Kinjalka. Pankaja is again lotus. Kinjalka is the saffron pollen. That is again this same color, yellowish in color. Lasat, it is very shining cloth. The cloth, whatever the Lord is wearing, it is very vibrant, shining in nature. Srivatsa Vakshasham Bhrajat. On the Lord's chest, there is Srivatsa mark. That is where Lakshmi Devi sits, Srivatsa. It is like white curly hair on the chest of the Lord. And it is Bhrajat, it is also very shining. Kaustuba Amukta Kandaram. On his shoulder, there were variable jewels. In that, one specific thing was Kaustuba jewel, which is very unique to the Lord Vishnu only, which is not present for other Vaikuntha personalities. Because in Vaikuntha, everybody looks forearmed of the different kinds of liberation. Sayujya, Sayukti, Sarishti, Samipya, Salokya. So Salokya staying in the same planet like the Lord. Sarishti, he having same opulences like the Lord. Sayujya merging into the effulgence of the Lord. Samipya staying in the association of the Lord. Sarupya having the same form like the Lord. So many personalities in Vaikuntha have the same personality looking like Vishnu. But how do you identify who is Vishnu, who is not Vishnu? There are specific marks which are present only on Vishnu, which are not present on other Vaikuntha personalities. Like Srivatsa, Lakshmi Devi is present only on Vishnu's form. Then Kaustuba jewel, these are exclusive to Vishnu. So here, the comparison between Bhakti and Ashtanga Yoga is described here. In Ashtanga Yoga, this Dharana or Samadhi state is the 7th stage. But the same thing can be attained in the 3rd stage of practicing Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. When you chant nicely, when you hear nicely, automatically you remember Vishnu. So this remembrance of Vishnu is the same thing like Dharana. The 7th stage of Ashtanga Yoga is 3rd stage in Bhakti Yoga. So there is always a similarity. But Ashtanga Yoga, as last time we discussed, it is elaborate process. So in Bhagavatam 2nd canto, Shukdev Goswami explains about the futures of Paramatma in the heart. What is his size? How does he look like? Elaborate descriptions are there. So it says, Evam sachitte swatayeva siddha atma priyartho bhagavan anantaha tam nivrutto nityartho bhajeta samsara hetu uparamasya yatraha. So, when you fix your mind on the personality of Godhead in the heart, Paramatma, Evam. So, Atma Priya Arthaha, what is his personality? He is very dear to everyone. Atma Priyaha. He is Supersoul, who is very dear to the living entity. And he is the goal of all living entities. Atma Priya Arthaha. And he is, how he is there in the everybody's Sharira? Evam Siddha Swachittehe. Who is situated in the core of the heart. For every Jiva, there is personality of Godhead as Paramatma in the heart. And Swataha, and he is by his omnipotency. Oh, okay, Jiva is also staying here. Lord is also staying here. Is Jiva and the Lord the same? Are both on the same level? Are they bound by this material body? No. The Lord is Swataha, he is omnipotent, even though he is staying in the heart. But Jiva, is he independent? No, he is bound by bodily condition. And because he is Bhagavan Anantaha, he is unlimited and all powerful with full of opulences. He is Tam Niyatartha Nivruttaha, and he is the ultimate goal of life. Generally, people follow Purusharthas, Chatuk Purushartha, generally Vedas recommend Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Ultimately, everybody wants liberation. So, generally, people who are little renounced and more of Sattviguna, when they come in front of the Lord, they generally pray, my dear Lord, I am done with all these material things. Please give me shelter at your lotus feet. Please take me back to Vaikuntha. This is the general prayer. So, that's why he is Tam Niyatartha Nivruttaha, completely free from all material attachment. Niyatartha is the ultimate destination for which everybody wants to aspire. So, when you achieve the Lord, what will happen to you? When you do engage in bhakti, so Chayatra Bhajeta, so one engages in pure devotional service to satisfy that Lord. Uparamaha, he becomes completely free from samsara hetuhu, the cause of conditioned state of ignorance. So when you take shelter of the Supreme Lord and engage in his devotional service, we become free from all these materialistic binding things which can entangle you in this material world. So we become Uparamaha means completely cessation, cut off. Samsara hetu, the cause of this material existence. So all things which are binding us to this material world will be completely disconnected. So what is the so thing the Prabhupada explains in this purport, for this verse, he says, Tam bhajeta atma, means one should serve or engage in devotional service of the Supersoul. Tam bhajeta atma, who is niyata arthaha, ultimate goal of life. And why are we not engaging in his worship? What is the problem? Why 99% of the people are not engaged in bhakti? Because we have diverted our attention. Our ultimate goal of life is not the Lord. Our ultimate goal of life is self-enjoyment. I want to enjoy. I want to be the master. I want to be the center of attraction. Because under illusion we get carried away by material glares. So like earlier we saw, all the jewelry on the body, dress on the body is very shining. So anything shining attracts us. That is the problem. Whether it is gold or stool. Instead of running behind gold, we run behind stool. Because anything like our bodily beauty, how long can this bodily beauty hold on? We become attractive for 10 years, 15 years. After that, this body starts losing its fade, everything and all. So what is that we are running behind? Stool. This body is made up of stool only. We are running behind this bodily attraction. And he is also the Bhagavan Anantaha Swatayeva Siddhaha. And he is unlimited and he is all qualified with all the opulences. Swayamevaha, he is omnipotent. And he does not require to do perfection, to reach that perfectional stage. He is already in the perfected stage. And worshipping the Supreme means serving the substance, not the illusion. In the material world, we are all running behind illusion. It's like mirage. We are all in a desert and everybody are running behind water. And is there water in the mirage, in the desert? It's only a reflection of water. Every time we try to satisfy ourselves, we go there, we become frustrated. There is no satisfaction. Even though that satisfaction may be momentary. You can count in your fingers. Minutes, hours, days. Eternal happiness is not there here. Because the nature of this world is dukkhalayam. It's a place of misery. Okay, you may say, Krishna also said earlier, tolerate. This world is a dualistic place. Let us tolerate. Okay, how long will you tolerate? Because this is temporary place. You cannot hold on to a long run also. So, by worshipping him, what will happen to us? Tam bhajeta samsara hetu uparamaha. We cause an end to the conditional state of existence. We completely cut off this materialistic entanglement. So, an analogy Prabhupada explains, as mother is always affectionate to the child, whether the child responds to him in a proper way or not. The affection of the mother will never be considered less or more. She is always in that spontaneous love for the child. Similarly, the Paramatma's love for the Jiva is also the same state. You may remember him or you may not remember him, but he is always in the same way. He is trying to accommodate you and he is trying to facilitate you with all your desires. Whether we acknowledge him or not, he takes care of all the Jivas within this material world. 84 lakh species of Jivas are maintained by the Lord. So what is our duty now? So much the Lord is endeavoring for us. Our duty is to search out for him within our heart and learn about him through Shastra, by visiting the temples, by discussing with devotees. Because how much concern he is showing for us. We should be gratitude towards for his compassion. So we should learn more about him, hear about him, understand about him. And not get carried away by this atheistic understanding or foolish perspectives of presenting the Lord. So Sridhar Swami explains this verse, why the Lord should be worshipped. He gives the same perspective. He is swachitte swatayeva siddhaha. He is situated in one's heart by his omnipotency. Jiva is situated in only one's heart. But the Paramatma is situated in everyone's heart. How he is simultaneously present in everyone's heart? He is multiple or he is one personality? He is one personality and he is expanded everywhere. He is the same personality. It's not that Paramatma in my heart is different, in your heart is different, in his heart is different. Sri Sri Radha Govinda ki. He is that same personality in everyone's heart. How it is possible? By his omnipotency. Eva Siddhaha, that is his capacity, special capacity. Then he is Atmaha, he is Supersoul. Atma has got 7 meanings. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains while discussing with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Whenever a word Atma comes, we generally think either this body, but Atma also has various meanings like soul, supersoul, mind, intelligence, this gross body, endeavor. So Atma has 7 meanings. So how you do know which word has to be referred for which part of Atma? Atmani Atma eva tushtaha. Means which Atma is satisfied in which Atma. So like that only Acharya can reveal the true meaning when it is used in devotional perspective. That's why we have to understand from pure devotees. Then he is Priyaha, he is very dear to the living entity. And devotional service, bhakti, is full of happiness. When you see smiling baby, what will be your facial expression? You smile. When you see somebody smile, you automatically smile. It is contagious. So prasanna, when the Lord is very blissful, by seeing him, you will automatically become blissful. Then he is Arthaha, he is the ultimate reality. Everything else is false in this material world. He is the only reality in this material world. And he is Bhagavan, he is with all transcendental qualities. And he is Anantaha, he is unlimited. So these are the unique qualities of Paramatma within one's heart, who is there. And further explanation it is done. What is the size of Paramatma? So elephant has big body, will he has big size? Ant has a small size, will he have a small Paramatma? What is the size of Jiva? 1 by 10,000, the tip of a hair. Second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, quote, Balagra shatabhagasya shatada kalpitasya cha keshagra shatabhagasya. So if you take a tip of a hair and divide it into 10,000 parts, is the size of the soul. The size of Paramatma as per Bhagavatam has two versions. One is Angushta Matrena, for a Jiva of his thumb size. If a Jiva is big, his thumb size will be big. If a Jiva is small, his thumb size might be small. This is one description. One more description was from the tip of the first finger to the tip of the third finger. So this is almost 8 inches is in size, is one more description. So then he has 4 hands. So Kanja, Ratanga, Shanka, Gada. One more name for lotus, Kanja, Kanjalka, Kanja. Rathanga, chariot wheel, Chakra. Shanka, Gada. Then his mouth expresses happiness. The Lord's mouth expresses happiness. His eyes are like lotus petals. The garments are like saffron of Kadamba bedecked with jewels. His ornaments gold set with jewels. Headdress and earrings are very glowing, shining, brajat. And lotus feet of the Lord are within the hearts of the devotees, which are like lotus. On the chest there is Kaustava jewel, which is engraved with the calf diagram. The Kaustava jewel has calf figure on it, beautiful calf. And there are many other jewels on his shoulder. They are also very beautiful. And he is now wearing a garland known as Vanamala, a fresh forest flower. And the specific unique thing is that the flowers release honey. The bees come running around for that flowers. Then his ornamental wreath around his waist, there is a belt. Like how do you wear a belt? The Lord's belt is decorated with gold and jewelry. And there are finger rings for the Lord. They are studded with various rubies, emeralds, and various other valuable jewels. And there are armlets, leglets, oiled hair, which is curly, with a bluish tint. His beautiful smiling face, all very pleasing. So every part of the body is described, the Paramatma's features. So by this, at least we can focus upon that personality. And when you focus upon that personality, your love and attraction for that personality will increase. The whole thing is, develop our love of Godhead is the point here. Should come to that stage. So Uddhava says in the last, Uddhava Gita last part, he says about this. Athata ananda dugam padambujam hamsa shrayeran aravinda lochana sukamnu vishweshara yoga karmabis tvan mayayami vihata na maninaha. He says, Ataha, therefore, my dear Lord, who is Aravinda Lochana. See, one more name for lotus, Aravinda. Whose eyes are like the petals of the Lord. Vishwa Ishvara, who is the Lord of the universe. And he is Hamsa Sukamnu Shreyaran Padambujam. The devotees who are like swan like men, take shelter of your lotus feet. And Ananda Dhugam, which is the source of transcendental ecstasy. The lotus feet is the source of transcendental ecstasy. But those Maninaha Yoga Karma Bihi, those who became perfect in yoga and karma, they think themselves all their accomplishments to be great, and they become pride in their endeavors. Maninaha. They become very proud. And Natvan Mayayami Vihata. They fail to take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Because they are defeated by Tvan Mayayami Vihataha, by illusory energy. This is the greatest problem. Materially, people think they are very proud of their achievements and do not give shelter or do not give respect to the lotus feet of the Lord, do not take shelter of the Lord, and all their endeavors becomes failure. Because of taking shelter of Maya. Maya defeats them. So for devotees, what is the process for us? Okay, we understand in Ashtanga Yoga to meditate upon the Lord. So how can devotees come to that stage? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Vaishnava Bhajana, he says how to come to that stage of attachment to the Lord. This song is known as Bhajana Lalasa. Lalasa means hankering for the divine service. Harihe Nirdharma Gata Jahnavi Shalile Pankafena Drushta Hoya. As water in the river flows, Ganges water, it is filled with flowers, mud, and very dirty things, straws and everything will be flowing. Nira Dharma, this is the nature of water. Mud and foam are seen in the waters of the Ganges. That is the inherent nature of flowing river. Tatapi Kakhona Brahmadrava Dharma Se Salila Na Chadaudhaya. But the water of sacred Ganges never loses its purity of spiritual nature. Even many things keep floating. Sometimes dead bodies float in the rivers, or some stool or something will be floating. You go and take the bath, you push them aside. The nature of spiritual potency of the water has never decreased by contamination of these material elements. That water is always glorious. Similarly, Vaishnava Sharira Aprakrita Sada. Similarly, the body of a Vaishnava is always spiritual. Aprakrita. Prakrita means material. Aprakrita means which is always spiritual in nature. Swabhava Vapura Dharme Kabu na he jada tatapi na ninde. So it is not like the body which is filled with any defects or anything. Materially we may see some defects within the body of a Vaishnava, but it is never to be considered material. Pode se vishada adharme. If anybody criticizes that body of a Vaishnava, falls into deadly irreligion. Pade se vishama adharme. By criticizing a Vaishnava for his bodily defects, we lose our bhakti. Se aparade yamera yatana paya jivera avirata. Because of this offense, we will be put under the care of Yamaraja, and he will torture us to the fullest extent. He Nanda Nandana se aparade yeno nahi hoi hota. Oh my dear son of Nanda, Lord Krishna, I always pray that I will not be disturbed by committing such an offense. Consciously or unconsciously, let us not offend a Vaishnava for his bodily defects. Tomara Vaishnava Vaibhava Tomara. Vaishnava is your own representative, and his glories represent your divine glories. Amare Karuna Doya. Please give me mercy. Tabe Mora Gati Hobe Tava Prati. So then my life's journey towards you will be success. Paho Tava Pada Chaya. And I will attain the shelter in the shade of your lotus feet. Same Ashtanga Yoga is also coming to the shelter of the Lord, and Bhakti is also coming to the shelter of the Lord. So the precaution what we have to follow in this process is not to offend another Vaishnavas in the endeavor of who are also endeavoring to reaching the Lord. So we have to be very careful when we are engaged in devotional service. We have this habit of loose tongue. We keep commenting on everybody. See, generally it is said, unless we are in the authoritative nature, we should not comment. Or else what happens? We start losing the taste for devotional element. Like sometimes prasadam will be made to the Lord. When the bhoga is cooked, the cook is having an intention of to offer the best thing. But by mistake, sometimes double salt is fallen. So what will you do? Lord has already eaten. It is prasadam. So we sensitize the devotees. Be careful. There is excessive salt. We try to adjust, pour more water or something. We have to try to balance that. But still, some people will be sensitive enough. Excessive salt, they may not be able to eat. So we, while serving itself, we suggest there is little salty in nature. Please take accordingly. Tomorrow or later, we don't feel that you have been not informed prior. So it's a precaution to say that be careful in the process of honoring prasad. And the in charge person can update the devotees of cooking. Be careful next time onwards. Be sensitive, because Lord is honoring. You have to be very careful in trying to present the item. So it is on authority basis devotees have to act, not on personal recommendation. You can go and communicate to the cook, Prabhu, today salt is more, please take care. You cannot correct somebody. Because there are 2-3 people involved. One person thought he has not put, some other person thought he has put, and finally it has become little more difficult. It's all attentiveness. So in our devotional service also, we have to be very attentive in the process. It is for satisfaction of the Lord what we are all trying to do. Not blame game and not to lose the value for the prasad. So for a devotee's life, how Lord works, most of the times we will all also experience this intuition. So sometimes we work and we try to serve. Somebody will come and say, oh, be careful, this is going to be some precautionary measure. So Lord gives us intuitions also. Be careful in the process. So there was one devotee by name Bhritrahari, a great king, a great personality, whose brother is Vikramaditya. So one more great king, great emperor. So they were all so religious people, so devotional minded. So once when Bhritrahari became little youth in nature, so when they studied the Vedic perspectives, he wanted to understand what is there in this Grahastha ashram. He wants to understand the intricacies of this family life, because Shastra says do not become entangled in family life. So he wants to understand how a person becomes entangled. So when he came to his youth, he informed his ministers, get me the best beautiful princesses I would like to select for my marriage. So various personalities have been recommended. Finally, he selected one girl by name Pingala, who is most beautiful of all of them. And he married her. Because of her bodily beauty, he became very much attached to her. Finally, it came to a point, he informed his brother, you take care of the kingdom. I want to understand all the intricacies of this material family life. Please don't disturb me. So he was only in his palace whole day, enjoying with his wife. And it's an instruction, nobody should come and disturb him with palace or the ruling situation. So over a period of time, he was becoming more and more attached to the wife. One day, wife, while she was within the house, she came to a balcony where the window was there. From that window, she saw outside there was one stable where horses are taken care. There was one young Ashwapala, a person who takes care of the horses, a strong, bodily built, heavy personality. So when she saw the bodily features of that Ashwapala, she became infatuated. She started becoming attracted to that horsekeeper. Over a period of time, she started secretly meeting that horsekeeper, and they started developing attraction for each other. So Vikramaditya got to know the details by his spies. He wanted to inform the king, because if he doesn't inform, it was his own brother. And taking some courage, because the instruction was not to meet him and disturb him, but still Vikramaditya took time and wanted to meet his brother and update him of the situation. So wife could pursue. Vikramaditya got to know of her illicit affair. She informed the king, I know for what purpose your brother is coming to meet you. Then he said, how do you know? What purpose he might come? Then she said, I know everything. You go and meet him and come. So he went. Brother informed him of all the situation, what is happening, what is transpiring. King became very angry. When he wanted to check with the queen, so he came to the palace in a very angry mode. So when he was about to question the queen said, I know what you are going to ask me. He said, how do you know what I am going to ask? Because this is what the information what your brother has said, that I have been in an illicit affair with a Ashwapala. The king was shocked. How do you know all these things? Because I know your brother is a very wrong personality. His character is very bad. He is running behind other people and he is trying to blaspheme me by creating a false system. Then she paid some people, a family, to come into the court and speak negatively about Vikramaditya. Because of fear and because of the money, whatever they have been given. So they came into the family and they came to the court and they explained Vikramaditya had an eye, lusty eye towards their daughter-in-law. So king already he is blinded by the beauty of his wife, and by hearing these accusations, he immediately banished Vikramaditya from the kingdom. So Vikramaditya folded his hands and went away to forest. So in the meantime, Lord was also thinking, because both were devotees, they have to be recovered and retrieved for devotional service. So there was one Brahmana who was very truthful in nature, very struggling to maintain himself. He did tapasya for a long time. For his penances, Lord Indra had appeared and gave him a fruit which is known as the immortal fruit, by eating which he will become eternal. And he vanished. The Brahmana thought, our king is very religious. If our king eats this fruit, the citizens will be very happy because he will be able to take care of us for a long time. So it is better that I give this fruit to the king. So he went to the assembly and handed over this fruit to the king. And king said, whatever you want, you take money. Because he said, if I eat that fruit also, I am hungry, I am a very poor person. What is the point of staying lifetime in a poor stage? Let me earn some money so that I can manage myself and manage my family. So he gave that fruit to the king and he took so much wealth from that. The king was also very happy. He thought, this fruit is so valuable thing. If my wife can eat this fruit, she will stay young forever. And if my wife is happy, I will be happy. So he took that fruit and gave to his wife. And the wife said, okay, I will eat it later. And she thought, my boyfriend, if he eats, he will be very happy. I can enjoy with him for a long time. She gave that fruit to that Ashwapala. This Ashwapala is in relationship with one court dancer. So he thought, if my court dancer will eat this fruit, I will be able to enjoy her or see her dancing and other singing and all. He went and gave that fruit to that court dancer. The court dancer thought, the king is the worthiest person because we are all staying happily, protected and respectfully living our lives. So it is better that the king eat. She brought that fruit and handed over back to the king. Now, full circle had happened. Now king is thinking, how come this had written to me? Then he started inquiring from the dancer, where did you get this fruit? Say the truth, I will not punish you. Then the dancer immediately said that horseman gave me. Then horseman was called, I can cut your body into 100 pieces. Unless you reveal the truth, what happened? I am not going to punish you. So he said, no, the queen gave me. Then he understood, Vikramaditya has said correctly, this lady is not to be trusted. And I have become blind in this bodily attraction. So how this family life makes one person attached, losing all his sense of discrimination? I could get the conclusion. So he immediately sent his spies to bring back Vikramaditya to kingdom. And next day morning in the open assembly, he declared, recently I gave one valuable fruit to my wife to be eaten. Today I am going to show all of you the value of this fruit. I am going to cut the queen's head here, right now, in front of all of you, and she is not going to die. Now she became very panicked. When he was about to strike the sword on her neck, She immediately said, my dear sir, please, please, please. Said, what? Please forgive me, I have not eaten that fruit. I have given to that horse person who was eating. I thought if he is there, I can enjoy with him. See the nature of the mentality of the mind. Even though you got the emperor with all the riches possible, you are not satisfied, you want something else. He got the queen, that Ashwapala. Still he is not satisfied, he is running behind some Nartaki. The nature of this material world is you will not be satisfied even with you have the highest possible thing in this material world, you will not be happy. This is the nature of this material attachment. So we have to be very careful. The king renounced the kingdom and he said, I am vexed up with these illusory perspectives. I am very much dissatisfied with the nature of these people. I can't stay with these people who are all very inferior in nature. I will renounce this world. And he handed over the kingdom to his brother to rule the world, and he went away to forest for tapasya on the Lord to become liberated from this material world. See, sometimes we have to experience these things to become detached. The material attachment is so strong. It requires a strong perspective to cut that attachment. So we have to be very careful. Don't try to experiment to understand this material world. Listen from authorities, be happy, and simply execute the process. That's what the Shastra is saying. That's what Acharyas are trying to communicate to us. Everything we need not put our finger into the fire and then experience the burning. People say, if you put your finger in fire, it will burn. Be happy. This is first class knowledge. Burning your finger through fire is second class knowledge. Let us be happy with first class knowledge. We'll stop here. Any questions or doubts?
Krishna Bro. So you nicely explained the Paramatma features like various Kaustubh money and everything. So we want to know that how Atma looks. So can you little explain about how the features of Atma looks?
How Atma looks, how you will be in the spiritual world, the same way Atma looks. Prabhupada explains, it has a body also with the same kind of senses, but they are in a covered state with a two-armed form.
Will look same as Atma, how we are.
How he looks like, it depends upon the body, but he is the nature, he is looking like a jiva with hands, legs and all the senses and everything and all. He's like a personality, like a person. Now if you say, my Atma will have like my face only, that way it will be difficult. They are like a person. Grandhara